All right, so we're now here in the press box, and this is a spot where I always ask the little kids, has anyone ever heard of a printing press? Or does anyone know does anyone know how a press box got its name? Because of course none of them have ever heard of a printing press. None of them have ever heard TV and newspaper and radio people referred to as the press. So it's always a good way to kind of stump the kids. We actually use this for a couple purposes. A lot of the control of what happens during the game happens in this room. So for instance, down here, there's a couple positions at the end where our stats and our scoreboard operators will sit. Also now, Major League Baseball personnel have a presence here in the press box during the game because they're involved in the operation of the TrackMan system. I'm pointing up because it's up there. That's the Doppler radar device that's mounted on the outside of the building that calls balls and strikes. So as part of our partnership with Major League Baseball, we're again this year testing the computer-assisted ball and strikes calls, where the umpire will wear a little earpiece in his or her ear, and the computer will call a ball or strike, which they'll indicate then on the field. Wow. So that's happening in this space. There's some other ancillary things that happen in here as well. We do sometimes get the TV media coverage of the game, and they'll come in here and use this space. We actually have a nursing mother's room right here on this end of the press box, which is a nice amenity for those fans who need that. So we're going to walk this way, and we're going to head into where the action in here really happens, which is the control room. All right. So now we're here in the heart of the press box area, the control room. This is where all of the music and the sound and the video effects that people see during the Revolution game happen. So in a typical game setup, we have a PA announcer down at the end, a music operator, a producer. That'll be today's videographer. Will is our game producer. We'll typically have a replay operator so that we can feed replays either onto the video board or onto our at-home stream that we do on YouTube. So typically for a game, we have 4 cameras operating. We have a fixed camera out in center field. That creates that classic shot where you're looking past the pitcher at the batter. We have a camera operator here up behind the plate on the balcony just outside, shooting the shot from behind the batter out onto the field. And then 2 cameras. One is a wireless camera that can go anywhere in the ballpark, and usually that's used honestly for your fan shots, your fan reaction kind of things. And then another camera on the field that can switch between the first and third base side, depending on which team is up and which team's in the field. So all of those cameras feed into a system, and we have an operator for our YouTube stream that produces that and feeds the graphics in. It's our little miniature hometown version of the same kind of broadcast that you'd see on national TV of a baseball game, and really, it's exactly the same thing at a small scale. There's a producer who's choosing camera feeds. We're mixing it with the PA from our radio broadcast, so you can watch on YouTube at home when you can't be here at the ballpark. All right. Any questions while we're here?
Yeah, I have a question. Who gets to pick the music?
Yes.
Played?
Will, our videographer. I'm pointing at the camera because Will's behind it. So, yeah, you actually see right here we have the soundboard, and then next to it we have a music computer, and there's actually a program called Click Effects. So these are not kind of music tracks that they're making up as they go. All the music and all the sound effects are pre-made clips, and they are tiles on a screen. And so depending on the time of the game, what's happening in the game, there are different tabs and different layers of all of these sound effects and music clips. And a good sound operator, you have to be really quick. You know, when you have that foul ball and you need to hear the sound of breaking glass or the train whistle within seconds, that's because that music operator has done that so many times and they know exactly how to tab through, find that sound effect and click on it. But in terms of the music itself, it's generally the producer who's choosing those tracks.
Cool, very cool, great. Yeah.
Any other questions while we're here? No. All right, well, we have one more incredibly important stop. Let's go check it out.
All right.